My name's Lee. Some of you guys know that. Those that don't, come say hi. I'd love to talk some nerd shop with you. This isn't the only meetup. There's a lot of Docker meetups. There's a lot of Docker birthday party meetups like this one. About 135, actually, to be exact, if my count is correct. If you were here for the last one, you know that the labs that you did were really participating in a worldwide Docker birthday party lab, and the things that we did ended up showing up on a live map, and it was pretty fantastic. So we're not alone. Moreover, we're not alone in terms of the help that we've gotten tonight. We've gotten help from Rackspace, and we've also gotten help from Embenair. And actually, with that, I want to take a moment to just ask maybe Carla from Rackspace or Vikram or Amanda, if you're here from Embenair, if you guys want to say something to Samuel. Thanks so much for your sponsorship, the venue, the food, the pizza, all thanks to these guys.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you real quick, too, for going through this new sign-up process we went through. And you guys were really patient and signed in, and we're very grateful. It helps us in the security side and also helps the girls in front desk not have to do it every morning. So with that, I just wanted to say that Rackspace, as you know, there's been some changes around here, and we are going to be doing a lot of changes internally in Rackspace as far as the way the makeup of our building is going to look. It's going to be pretty cool. So those are some new things on the horizon, as well as you know that we have now signed a partnership with Google, and we'll be now servicing Google's cloud platform. We call it GCS, and that's on its way. Woo, yeah, right, toot that horn. I'm tooting. Anyway, in the right way. And then, of course, you all know that we have our AWS and our Microsoft Azure partnerships as well. And VMware is also going to be picking back up. So with all that, we are going to be having some new roles open up. And me as a SME recruiter, advisor recruiter on the technical side, I will be looking for some people to fill some really great new roles that are going to be here in Austin, as well as in San Antonio and some of our other offices, Blacksburg. So if you're interested, some of those things will start coming out probably next month. But if you just want to stay in touch and, start talking, feel free to reach out to me after this is all done.
Nice. Yeah. We've got some rackers in here right now, right? Yeah. Some ex-rackers, some current rackers. It's a good place to work.
So I'm Vikram from Embenair. This is my thing. I'll let him introduce the company.
Okay. Samuel Chen from Embenair. We have been a sponsor for this event for quite some time, I guess. Welcome everyone to come in to join us for this Docker birthday party. We are a Docker authorized consulting partner and also a Docker licensed reseller. So in case you just run into any problems or issues or need some help, feel free to reach out. I have Vikram here and also John over there. So a few folks from Embenair. Anytime you need help, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. Yeah, good. If you guys need help with containery things, you know who to go to. Speaking of containery things, who's like, where are we on our journey into Docker land, into container land? Folks, so some of you folks who raised your hand earlier, you've been hanging out in this general space for some time. We've got some new faces out there as well. Anybody just kind of stepping into this world and sort of touching containers for the first time, kind of bumping into them? Nice, beautiful. Okay, good. We've got something for you. Speaking of something for you, make sure you grab a sticker. I want to see all that the stack of stickers gone. And remind me to bring up stickers when we get to the end of the meetup. All right, good. So there's just if you haven't heard Docker's a thing, there's some statistics there to prove that. I want to say quick thank you. So the mentors tonight, if you could stand up. These are folks who've been in the community helping out. They're here to help out this evening. Even our IBMers with Blue Blood, if you could stand up. Good. Good. Yeah, very good. So look out for these folks. They've got the pins on. You bump into an issue, they're there to help. So thank you very much. Thank you. All right, here's another thing. Hey, we need to kind of get the party started. So hey, there's a banner back there with balloons. It is a perfect photo opportunity. There's some masks you can hold up. There's a selfie stick. It works. It's kind of fun. I hadn't used a selfie stick, so I'm a noob in that respect. It worked though, so go over there, make some noise. As a matter of fact, it's a mandatory group participation thing that's going to happen right now. It's going to break some ice too, so that's good. Here's what we're going to do. So who knows DockerCon is the annual Docker conference. Well, the biannual Docker conference is coming to town, coming to Austin, right? Like every other excellent tech conference, they're coming here, right? So the good folks at Docker want to make that special for Austinites. So actually, we're going to have a discount code that's fairly steeply discounted for you guys here in the room. So watch out for that. Remind me if you don't see that code, that discount code. Remind me. I'll give it to you. Let's take some video. Who wants to be in a video reel, maybe on DockerCon as they're going through it? Everyone who does, head over with me to the banner, if you would. We've got Cody. Cody's gonna be on. Oh, say it again. Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, so if we've got like a selfie stick, we can get people in there. Join me. There will be no formal written agreement that we will use your face, name, and personal information as we share that video. But come on down. We want to grab a video, folks. We want to say, essentially what we want to do is say, welcome to Austin, and show this to the folks that are coming to DockerCon. So if you want to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, on the big stage at DockerCon, get your face in this video. So, yeah. Yeah. Come on down. Oh, yeah. Good. We're breaking ice. How are you, Pedro? Very good. Aram. Yes. CL, my man. Yeah. And we're going to say, welcome to Austin. Welcome to Austin. Woo. Yeah. Hook 'em. What else we got? Happy birthday, Docker! Yeah, nice. All right. Good. You've been awkwardly forced into a video advertisement. Good. We're all now friends. That's good. Thanks for being good sports. Nice. All right. Boy. Good. Okay. Hey, so tonight's agenda. We're going to run through a few slides, tell you guys that are new to Docker what it's sort of all about. There's a number of different and then we're going to go through some labs. And that's really what tonight is, kind of two things, is running through some labs so that you guys can get hands-on, get some questions answered. There's beginner labs, there's intermediate labs as well. And then we're going to do some socializing, some cake. We're going to hand out discount codes. We even have some lucky winners for free DockerCon passes. I don't know if I can, yeah. I might get slapped, but yeah, good. All right, so let's talk about what is Docker. It's for developers, operators, and enterprises. Really, probably the genesis of Docker and kind of it being the developer that this promise of portability is really probably initially resonated with. Then as developers are defining that infrastructure, the infrastructure of the future maybe, operators are having to pick that up and hopefully getting more out of their compute as they run applications side by side, as they pack in their container hosts with as many containers as it can take. And so enterprises can benefit from hopefully more speed, agility, happier employees. All right, so the obligatory, what is a container? Yes, most of you have probably seen this before. But there's some benefits for containers. Containers have their birthright in Linux, in C groups. The part of the promise outside of the portability that I just mentioned for applications that are written and deployed inside of a container, part of the other promise here is that they are closer to the hardware, or can be. If you deploy your container really on bare metal, then the containers themselves, they are isolated from one another. So there's this promise of multi-tenancy in that regard, but they skip through a virtualization layer. Let's see if we got a picture of that layer. So containers and VMs, it's not an either-or thing. As a matter of fact, my perspective is the future is a big fat and. It's bare metal and VMs and containers and unikernels and functions, serverless stuff, right? Like, hey, none of those things unto their own, and it's even what, mainframes? Yes, it is. We've got mainframes processing millions of transactions just right now. Anyway, the point being is that it isn't an either or. They can work in unison, they can work side by side. You're familiar with VMs and how they require a hypervisor to run on top of, and that hypervisor, there's a couple different types of hypervisors, but one like ESXi will abstract away the hardware beneath, presenting virtual drivers to the hardware virtual drivers to the VMs that are running on top and the operating systems that are running up here. There's a little bit of an elimination of some of that layer in terms of that guest OS. With as you run in containers, the containers themselves are more directly running on the host itself. Sharing some efficiencies around the way in which they're built, the layers, as they've got common layers between a given container. If you're building a container image and they're using the same layers, maybe they're using the same base operating system inside, there isn't necessarily the need to replicate all of those layers on the host. So there's some efficiencies by way of storage as well. Okay, so like I was saying, the containers have kind of had their birthplace in terms of really appealing to developers. And you might start, some of you are going to start on this journey just like this tonight, as a cute little turtle. Yes. And then, just as your journey continues, usually operators come into the mix. Enterprises want to run things in a stable way. And partners come in, whether they're a consulting partner like Ambinair or a technology partner, come in and help add value around the Docker engine. And not just the Docker engine, but some of the other offerings that Docker Inc. has as well. So that's probably an important differentiation is Docker Inc. versus Docker open source. So Docker itself is certainly an open source project, and that's sort of represented. So we're going to introduce some new terms today for those that have been around. Docker Inc. is drawing a delineation between the community edition, which is the open source version that probably most of you are pretty familiar with, and the enterprise supported edition that they will fully support and license. Okay, so again, some differences kind of between the editions. To have a Docker certified container offering, or to write a plugin into Docker itself. So who can give me some examples of some plugins that go into Docker land? There are vendors that write plugins and sell those plugins. Yes, sir.
Volume plugins.
Volume plugins. That's right. That's right. So volume plugins being a way in which you'd handle data that you'd like to store either on that host or in a multi-host environment. Maybe it's data that you're trying to store on a different host. You can imagine as containers come up and down, if you're running a container and it's trying to persist data, well, if that container is somewhat ephemeral and it may come up and down, it may come up and down on different hosts, it isn't necessarily guaranteed to have access to the same local volume. So different vendors have come in to help solve some challenges there. Docker actually made an acquisition here not too long ago. You don't remember the name of that acquisition by chance? I forget, but anyway, there's also authentication plugins. There are network driver plugins. There's IPAM plugins. There's logging drivers as well. So a lot of different ways that the ecosystem has wrapped around Docker. So again, some differences between Enterprise Edition and Open Source Edition. Even the release cadence is a bit different. So the Open Source Editions are following really a monthly release cadence, if I've understood my graph correctly. And then, so the C is every month. The Enterprise Edition then being once a quarter. And so those are it's kind of the first time that some of us are seeing this differentiation. But okay, yep. Okay, so Vikram is educating us. He's saying there's a stable version and an edge version.
So the stable version will have some will be a little bit longer life thing. You won't get all the leading edge features that you need, and so they'll be released every quarter, and they'll be supported for 4 months. And then you have the edge release, which you can get updates every week, every 2 weeks, and every month there'll be a release. So if you have like Docker for Windows or Docker for Mac, you'll suddenly see a pop-up saying that there's a release available and you can download it. And that's the edge version of it. And then you have the stable version, which you could be on the stable branch, which is not the beta branch, and then you can get a release every 3 months.
So maybe one outside of just the obvious takeaway about stability of the software, maybe one thing to take away is there's very often as a new Docker engine release comes out, there are experimental features that are included, sort of beta features that are in advance of them being fully baked. So I would imagine you could expect those in the edge releases. Notice how that we don't say unstable releases, right? Okay, there is a Docker store. Folks are familiar with the Docker Hub, which is just an open registry to go out and store your containers, store your images. You can have private repositories. It's a lot like GitHub is for source code, Docker Hub is for container images. There's also a Docker store, and this is where folks who've built container images, or organizations, or just folks like yourselves that want to enter into a commercial Docker and offer up a paid-for image, they can do so through Docker Store. Relatively new. Store.docker.com. Deliver your business through Docker Store. Okay. Anyone a student? Anyone attending university? If you are, or if you know folks who are, a couple of new programs to get you hooked nice and young. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get into a couple of things. Let's get into the labs. Play with Docker. Not necessarily a widely known URL, but is a new, relatively new capability, a way of learning self-paced by yourself. Birthday.playwithdocker.com. A couple of things to take note of. To the extent that that your mentors are either busy or don't have the answer, put your complaints in that box. And then also put your complaints here. You reach out. There's a Docker Slack channel where you can reach a broader community, ask questions, and engage. There's also a Docker community. I don't know what engine they're running to run the community, but okay. So lab instructions, step 2. Go to birthday.playwithdocker.com. Okay. Okay. So let's begin, shall we? Do we need lights on for lab, or is the soft glow of your laptop enough? Okay. Good. Say it again. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do we, Miss Kroll? Do we have like a meeting? Yes. Yes. Mood lighting for those of us.
No. We have that bright light up front, this light up back, our companion.
Okay. No problem. We'll.
Party lighting out here, so.
Yeah, that's right. We need a disco ball. So crack open your notebooks, your laptops, your Macintoshes. Let's get going. Couple of things to remember. If you didn't get the hint before, grab a sticker. There'll be an announcement about stickers later. We'll also have a separate discount code. So let's get going. So the other thing is, if I didn't make it obvious, when you do visit the playwithdocker.com website, there's a list of different labs to go through, and just choose the one that sort of meets where you're at or fits your interest. Okay, people got the hint that time. Yes.